We're back today with Pastor Jentezen Franklin, the author of this great new book, Love Like You've Never Been Hurt. I know it's hard. And so, Pastor Jentezen, today we're talking about how do we do this? How do we move back maybe that pain, maybe that unforgiveness, and somebody watching that's saying, I can't do it. I just can't move forward.
Yeah. Well, you can. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you, and that's the key. First of all, you have to be reconciled back with God in your own heart and in your own life. You know, one of the things that you have to realize is just because you forgive somebody doesn't mean that you're saying, I'm all right with what they did. No, there's a big difference between forgiving somebody. It doesn't mean when you forgive them that they were justifiable in what they did. What you're saying is, I free myself. I set myself free because this is changing who I am. This is making me a bitter, angry, offended, sensitive person. I'm going to turn the lights on again in my life because things go dark when you get in a bitter place, an angry place, when you're mad at someone. That is a dark place where the enemy and all of his power can come and destroy your life and destroy your relationships, because it doesn't just affect you, it'll affect your family, it'll affect your children, and that's why we must be reconciled. I think of Joseph in the Bible. His brothers did him wrong. You know, it's bad when it's your own family. It was his family, it wasn't strangers. And even Jesus said, I was wounded in the house of my friends. It was Judas, one of his elite 12, that did the biggest number on him. He had hot lips but a cold heart. He kissed him and betrayed him. And there's a lot of people who talk big talk, but then they hurt you. And so what Joseph did, though, was so powerful because the Bible said that he looked at the end of the story when he's on the throne and his brothers come in that did him so wrong, that threw him in the pit, that caused him ultimately to go through 13 years of injustice by serving in a prison for a crime he did not commit. And when he looks at them, and this is how you know you've forgiven somebody, when you have power to hurt them and you don't. He looked at when you can hear their name and you are not angry at them. You have forgiven them. And he said, you meant it for my evil, but God meant it for my good. Which says this, sometimes it takes the worst things done to you to bring out the best in you. If Joseph hadn't been put through all of that bad, he wouldn't have been able to release so much good back to his own family and back to the world. He fed the world, and he was in a position to do it had he not gone through what he went through. You've got to believe that God has allowed you to go through what you've been through, and it takes the worst done to you to bring out the best in you. God's going to use what you've been through to take you higher. Wow,
that's a good challenge. I hope that's encouraging to you today. Maybe you've gone through something and you're about to go over, you're about to forgive that person. God is going to release that, as Pastor Jentezen said, and use it for good. Please do get your copy today of Love Like You've Never Been Hurt.